understand what you're dealing with, do you? Perfect organism. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility.
You admire it.
I admire its purity, a survivor, unclouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Game On Girl, our latest blog and podcast episode. I'm your host, Regina McMenemy.
And I'm your co-host, Rhonda Oglesby.
This week we'll be talking about recent geeky news in our headline show.
And we'll have a show and tell about our favorite geek desk ornament.
So stay tuned, and thanks for listening to Game On Girl. As always, there's something to be excited about, angry about, and indifferent about on the internet right now. And we've picked a few recent articles to talk about this week. So where do you want to start, Rhonda? We've got quite a collection here.
Yeah. And it is very interesting, too, that I actually had a day last week where I was reading the news and I just got so frustrated and so upset. I closed all my windows and was depressed for an entire day. So.
Oh, wow.
It was hard to come up with a headline show. And then they just started rolling in. But
right. Yeah.
I thought maybe we might start on a high note with No Princess in the Castle.
All right.
This was tweeted quite a bit last week, and I believe part of it was because the Kickstarter had just wound up.
Right.
And they got funded. No Princesses in the Castle is a documentary that's being done by, I can't remember the name of their company, Willow something Film Group, but it's Dave Danzera and Natalie Rossetti.
Yes.
And they've done some documentaries, geeky documentaries before. This one, I have to say, did you watch the trailer?
I did, yes.
Said nothing. It was, if I had watched that trailer, I would have not funded Kickstarter because it really just didn't tell me anything.
Right.
The image on the website is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The still image is gorgeous. That I would have just thrown money at them for that. No, it was just
just for the picture.
Yeah, it was just gorgeous. But basically, this is what they have to say. No Princess in the Castle lends a sensitive yet informative look into the feelings that compel the gamer to game, the programmer to create dreams that provoke emotion, all the while opening the door on a world of gaming from the personal perspectives via a spectacular cast of supportive contributors. So basically, they're interviewing a lot of gamers, some of them professional,
right?
Some professional in the industry, and they're all female.
Yes, yeah. They're all women who work in the game industry, so sort of differentiating itself that way.
Yeah, but I still can't quite tell what the documentary is about. Besides, just they keep saying something about. Let's see, like punching through the peripheral shadows and entering the gaming world center stage.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're breaking through, and I don't know what they're accomplishing. It's kind of timey-wimey to me. So, but I'm very excited for everybody to know, though, that we're going to have the directors on the show to talk about it.
Yes. Yeah,
so I'm very, very happy about that.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out more about it and to have a chance to talk with them and pick their brains about how this project came about and, like you said, kind of what the mission or what the main idea is what they're kind of driving for.
Yeah, one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up is because the documentary is coming. They do have a track record, and we are going to have them on the show.
Yeah, that should be fantastic. Cool. Well, another article that we were talking about, another positive article, really was how to get girls into coding. That was in the New York Times. And I saw this in a couple of places, and I had checked it out when I saw it. And when I worked at IBM a lifetime ago, I actually worked at a summer camp that we did, a week-long summer camp for junior high-aged girls to get them in the research center and have them check out kind of the science and see what research was, see what computer research was, so they could kind of get inspired or interested in it. And so I've always kind of followed that as kind of a sideline from having done that. And this looks like it's pretty much lining directly up with that. Let's make coding a language kids learn in school.
Yeah. Well, and the article is by Natasha Tiku, and she's exploring the idea of, okay, we are horribly deficient in women in technology. So how do we do this? And she
Right.
mentioned several things. Um, most of which I had never heard of. Code.org, I had
Mm-hmm.
never heard of, is an initiative put together by Bill Gates, Amazon, Google, and Mark Zuckerberg to to get programming as part of the basic curriculum in school.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Right.
Public
Yeah.
school.
Yep.
Brilliant idea.
Yep.
Absolutely brilliant. And then she goes on to mention, okay, why aren't there more kids interested? And basically points out that gaming has been the gateway for most girls to get into programming. And she
Mm-hmm.
feels like we should put a whole lot more emphasis on this.
Right.
Minecraft being a big one, and Neopets
Yeah.
also. Scratch was a great initiative. It's still slowly making its way around. I know some of the little girls I know that play games, especially Minecraft, thought Scratch was amazing way to go out there and make something actually animated and do something.
I don't actually know what Scratch is.
It's a teaching tool for kids to learn how to program,
Oh, okay.
and it's very visual. It's drag
I
and
should use
drop.
it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I forget how old Ellie was at the time when she started doing the programming, but she was 10 or 11
Mm-hmm.
and out there using Scratch to program with. I believe it was created by MIT,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a brilliant little program. And
Cool.
apparently, there's some others out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard of a couple of different things. I have a friend who's, very consciously raising geeky daughters.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that he talks about is getting them interested in coding. And they're like, 6 and 9 right now, I think. So,
Yeah, and I think back on when I was in school, and one of the other things that Natasha, is that her name? I don't
yeah.
want to yeah, Natasha. Another one other thing that Natasha mentions is female mentors.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a
Yeah.
whole lot of girls that just need an extra little push, or they
Yep.
just don't know that they can do this.
Right. And they don't have anybody that they can see who does this kind of work or do, these
Yeah.
kinds of jobs. That's part of what we were doing when I was at IBM was that initiative, and that summer camp was driven by the women who worked at IBM Research who were, few and far between in,
Yeah.
high-end computer research. So it was really interesting to watch the kids kind of blossom and grow as they saw other women and
Mhm.
worked with other women on these projects. So, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a parent, it's extremely difficult. I mean, how do you expose your kid to all the possibilities of the things that they could do? You also hope that the school counselors care enough to help explore those ideas, and that there are, public resources, free resources for kids to explore
Yep.
um, possibilities. But I'm just thankful that computers are so much more prolific and more available, so that if they can get on and
Yeah.
play games where they're learning. I love the story that Natasha told at the beginning about how
Yeah, I
she
do
learned
too.
geography
Uh-huh. From
by,
Carmen San Diego.
yeah. I
I
mean,
love that game.
it's just brilliant.
So much. It was so much fun. I'm kind of sad that I don't know if you can still get it or if they still make it, but if they don't, they should do a Kickstarter to bring it back.
Yeah.
It really was a great game. It was a great learning tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, gaming, which we're not surprised, a gateway to the
To
tech
programming.
industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The next segment is just a bunch of quick headlines. I found some of the latest stuff that was going on. Just wanted
Hmm.
to read through real quickly. The latest demo video for Alien Isolation, the video game, is
Hmm.
out. IGN reviewed it and videotaped their
People
employees
playing it.
playing it.
Yeah.
The marketing is trying to beef up the scare factor of
Right.
Alien
Right.
Isolation. Like, they need that. It's just going to be scary.
They already have enough of a cult following, you would think, but dress it up as a scary game. Not a bad move.
No, not at all. And then Geek and Sundry this week, the first episode of Spooked came
Spooked.
out. Did you get
Yep.
to see that?
I have not had a chance to watch it yet. Did you get to see it?
Yeah, I saw it quickly today, and it was
Nice.
really fun. And you'll recognize a lot of
I'm
faces. It's
sure I
very
will.
nice.
That does tend to be the way it works. So
Yeah, very
I'm
nice.
always
And we're
happy.
gonna.
I'm love to see them doing more scripted stuff. I love the vlog
Mhm.
material that they have up, and we've had some of the vloggers on the show, but I really do like the scripted material that they put together. So I'll have to check it out.
And this
This one
this
is interesting. Yeah.
yeah, this one irritated me
Yeah.
to no end, and I put it in at the last minute because it just made me so mad.
Is
I
this
saw
one
a
of the ones
headline.
that made you shut down the computer that day?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
This came up today.
Okay.
The headline, and I can't remember. Yeah, Jezebel. Several designers refused to make Melissa McCarthy an Oscar dress.
Yeah. You can't really say anything to that. It's just
Well,
it's so
I mean,
awful that I can't believe it.
you you don't know why,
No.
but an actress, a popular actress,
A successful.
a
Yeah.
successful, well-liked actress is going to be on the red carpet.
Right. Why
And
wouldn't you
these
take the
designers are
opportunity?
falling. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
falling all over themselves to get on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's adorable.
She
I
is.
just
She's
love
great.
her.
I mean, to have her as a spokesperson for a line of clothes or for anything would be fantastic. You totally get, you know, people love her. They
She's
love
a
her
classic.
movies. She's fun. And she found a designer, right? Isn't that
Hmm.
part of what she said? She found a
She
designer
did.
who,
She
and
did find a designer and was very, very happy with them.
yeah, and then
Um,
is continuing to work with that designer. So
yeah.
yeah.
And she's a class act. She doesn't mention the designers who turned her down.
No, she doesn't. That was really, I mean, that was nice for them.
Yeah. Well, she's smart
Yeah.
because
Just
number
give people
one,
pissed
it
off
doesn't
for no
do
reason.
anybody any good.
Exactly.
And it also gives the designers a moment to have some redemption. I mean, you like people
Yeah.
to learn
Yeah. Well, you
and,
hope
and
at
to
least.
grow,
Yeah. You
So,
hope at least. Yes.
the other thing was Lego does an idea set, apparently, and I did finish reading the article. I don't know whether you know more about this or not, but they get several submissions about ideas for their next
Right.
sets or what they're going to do. And they picked up a mini figure. Do you ever get any of the mini figures? They're so cute.
Yes, I have several of them.
Yeah. The next set this summer, I believe, or this winter, is going to be a female scientist minifigure set.
Yes,
It's going to
it's so
include,
cool.
yeah, going to include three female scientists, and I loved the submissions. They were just fantastic. It's such a great idea.
Yeah, it really is. It really is one of those moments where it's like, yes, go Lego. That's really
Yeah,
fantastic. You can go out and
very
support
nice.
that. You can go out and support them. Our last article was about not supporting certain people who we don't have names of, and this is go out and buy more Legos.
Yeah, they're getting it. They're
Yeah.
they're they're doing it right, which is
Yep.
funny because we're going to talk about a company that doesn't do it right in a minute. And then did you see this or did I let you know about the fight
You
Tumblr
did.
zine?
No, I only saw this when I looked at the notes for the show. So,
The lady is Jen Woodall, and she does zines, which I've right now it's on Tumblr, but she's going to actually do a print book,
hmm.
and she's getting artist submissions to create original female superhero characters. And the artists are mixed. I believe they're male and female
Hmm.
mixed artists. And the first book is already packed. They've got about 34 artists, and it's going to be called Fight Round One. She's open to submissions. I immediately got excited about it, but I just don't have time. And
Oh,
also, it looks like she's dealing mostly right now with professional artists and illustrators. But submissions are open. Go
yeah.
out there, send
You
her
never
your
know.
original fighter female protagonist.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If
Go out
anything,
and
they're
create.
posted. She posts them on the Tumblr, so
Right. So you
they're
can see them.
so fun to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some great material on it. I spent a good 10 minutes perusing it after I saw it today. some good stuff. Um, oh yeah, so I'm actually going to let you talk about this next article because I only know a little bit about Doctor Who, so I'm going to let you do the Doctor Who. That's on my list this year. This year's to watch some Doctor Who. So.
Well, I'm still catching up with the old Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the first Doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've watched all of the modern Doctors. I just thought the conversation was interesting, and the main reason that I pulled it up, it was an article in the Mary Sue where they were they were launching off of comments made by the creator Stephen Moffat, who said, I'll just read what all he said here in reference to a female doctor.
Right.
And I think the buzz over the last casting was even bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and they came out with male cast actor. Um, Casting is the dark arts of television. It is everything. That decision is central and absolute to everything you do. It's the difference between a television program and a sensation. And I think that's very insightful. I think it's very easy to sit on this side of the politics
Yeah.
and the story making and an industry, a franchise industry like Doctor Who, and say,
You should do
cast a
this.
woman.
Yeah.
I think that as far as that goes, Stephen Moffat's comments are very, very smart. Now, the other reason that I brought it up is what the Mary Sue did is they went looking for what all the other doctors have said about what do you think? Do you think a
Right.
woman should play the doctor? And
Right.
almost every single one of them, except one, says, yeah, why not? Go
Yeah.
ahead, do it.
Right.
And I thought his comments were very interesting. He said, this is Peter Davison. He was the fifth doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I've never quite liked the idea of a female doctor. I think they've found a perfect situation now in the modern show where they have a slightly faulted doctor with all his mad genius, and you have the strong woman as his companion. I think if you reversed it, it would be difficult because you'd have the woman as a mad genius, but is she vulnerable? And then you've got a strong man as the companion. And I think he has a point. I think I think you could write it the correct way, but I definitely think you have to change things because I love the idea of constantly watching the idea that the doctor is immortal. He
Mm-hmm.
keeps regenerating. He's this time lord. He
Right.
has this screwdriver to do anything, but he's so faulty. He still has got so much to learn, and I think that's part of the reason why he has to get in touch with humanity with this companion who is the person who causes him to grow and mature and to regain his humanity. And I don't know if the
Yeah.
audience is going to have, I don't know whether the audience would completely accept a doctor, a female doctor who is that flawed and immature. I mean, I like seeing the companion's the strong one.
Yeah. I mean, I can give a nod to that, I guess is what I'd say. I can see, and I can see as the producer said, you don't want to mess with your formula. But if we look at characters like Bones, for example, that's the first sort of character that comes to mind. You look at Bones and Booth and Seeley Booth, and Bones is very much that sort of flawed, um, overly secure scientist type, and Booth is the vulnerable, emotional, grounding.
Yeah.
And I think that, and it works. I mean, obviously it works.
Hmm.
Like I said, as we talked about a couple of times in our rap sessions, Bones has probably gone on a little longer than it should. It has to be popular enough to
Yeah.
carry and to continue them making it. So yes, where I can see where that might be true. I also think it would still make an intriguing, proposition to make the doctor a woman. And there's nothing that says that the companion has to be a man as well. I mean, the companion could be another woman. It could be two friendships. It could be, I mean, there's so many more possibilities that you could open it up to rather than saying, this is where we're succeeding, so let's keep succeeding here
Yeah.
and keep doing the same thing.
Well, and I'm not even sure either that it's just It's just where they're succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree that the storyline, as you just explained with Bones,
Mm-hmm.
works perfectly,
Right.
but it was not previously established with the
Yeah.
genders flipped,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's where I think that they've got a very complicated thing.
Yeah.
Is they've already got something established with this with a sex identity
Mm-hmm.
with the doctor and that strong woman. I mean, these women are looked back on as these anchors, these people that grounded the situation and pulled things in and gave it balance.
Mm-hmm.
um, I think it would be interesting to have both as females.
Yeah.
I really like that idea.
Yeah, I think that that would be intriguing, but I also think it's cutting sort of male characters short to say they couldn't hold that role or couldn't do that as well.
Oh no, I think they
Yeah.
definitely could.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. The
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 audience
the
is going to
feminist
accept it.
audience
Yeah.
is fickle, because if
Mm-hmm.
you get a woman in there that is anchored by a man, I still don't think they're going to be happy,
Yeah. I don't
because
know.
that's the role that he
You
plays.
know what
But
they should do?
what should they do? They should call us.
They should. They should do a web series
Well, now
where it's flipped.
they've got a lot of fan fiction.
Yeah, but not fan, but actually done by the BBC, you know, a kind of sideline. Because, I mean, you have plenty of ways with Doctor Who, with Time Lords, with the changing, with the whole, you know, thing to open up new storylines. And they could have a storyline that's exclusively web based and have it be this, you know, maybe, you know, have a female doctor, a male companion, and see what happens and see how it's, you know, responded
Yeah.
to, just as kind of a test way to do it. Because you'd have the population to watch it. You know, Whovians are a big deal. So,
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
Well, the last comment, I love this. Paul McGann, who's the Eighth Doctor, said Tilda Swinton as Doctor Who. Can you imagine that? Just tell me you wouldn't watch that. And it was like, oh my God, yes, I
Yeah,
would.
that would be fantastic.
And I think we ought to have a show. It needs to be a few weeks in the future where we try to cast the female doctor and the male doctor,
Oh,
the
that'd be
male
awesome.
companion,
Oh, we
and
should
see
totally
what
do
we could
that.
come up with. But it'll
Yeah.
take some time.
Yeah. Yeah, it would totally take some time. Yeah. All right. So Star Wars is in the news again.
Yeah.
Isn't it always in some way? No.
Talk about hot button.
Rhonda's like, I had to take a very long drink off. What are you drinking tonight, Rhonda?
My hubby made me up a chocolate martini.
Nice. So finish off your chocolate martini before we start this discussion. All right. So as we know, Disney owns Star Wars now. And who did they not include as a Disney princess in their marketing and merchandise?
Oh, wait a minute. There's a princess in Star Wars? Let
Yes.
me think.
Huh. Let me think about this. Who was
Well, and
that?
it's interesting the way it came up.
Right, that somebody actually tweeted to the Disney store. I think it's a Disney store, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the big complaint is the merchandise in the Disney store.
Right.
And there was a consumer who was in the Disney store, and she's like, my kid would like some Princess Leia stuff. Why don't you have any Princess Leia stuff? And a Disney rep replied and said, currently there are no plans for Leia products at Disney store.
Yeah. And then the internet exploded.
I'm surprised the internet still exists.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised all the tubes didn't just, you know, combust at once.
Well, and it's interesting because I went out to their product line to look at what their Disney store stuff is, and there is not a single product that features Leia. She's in the cast on some T-shirts
Right.
with others,
Right. Right. But nothing
but
that's
there
just her.
is a Lando Calrissian T-shirt, and there is not a Princess Leia. There is an Ewok figure,
Right.
and there's not a Princess Leia.
Yeah.
There
It's
is a Jar Jar Binks figure.
they should know better. I mean, really. If anybody made fans angry, it was Jar Jar Binks.
So this established there is a problem.
Right. Right.
Okay. Now then, what my other issue is the way that people were talking about it. Okay.
Okay.
Now then, what was said in one of the articles, parents took to Twitter last week to protest the fact that Disney Store contains almost no Star Wars themed gear for girls, even though it's chock full of playthings for boys.
Right.
Okay, that's not right.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so what? And they went on though toward the end of the article. Let me get the three corners. While most girls who love Star Wars are perfectly happy playing with toys meant for boys, it's an odd move for a company built on gendered marketing to ignore our demographic.
Right. Yeah.
So, so Disney's got a couple of sins here. Number one, they completely ignored Princess Leia.
Right.
Number two, they do gendered marketing.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what Disney's about. Disney draws very, distinct gender lines, which they're breaking a little bit with some of the new stuff that they're doing. Like Frozen, kind of broke through some of that, and Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
So there have been they are kind of breaking out of it being quite so. Cars is for boys and princesses are for girls. They're breaking out of that a little bit. So hopefully more of that is kind of coming. But to miss the opportunity to create Princess Leia merchandise it's just shameful. Like you said, it's definitely a sin. And to consider that toys like Jedi toys are only meant for boys.
Yeah, see, if you go to the website store, it's divided. You click on merchandise for girls or merchandise for boys.
So
and
limiting.
The merchandise for boys is like 2 or 3 pages long. The merchandise for girls, 4 products. And there's all the stuff I wanted to buy was on the boys' site. Right. So why are you defining it? Because, I mean, Star Wars people can get on me, but isn't Princess Leia a Jedi? I mean, isn't that what they said in the second film? That Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda were talking. It's like, no, there's another one.
Oh yeah. She has the same. Well, she's the same bloodline as Luke. She just didn't have any of the training that he had. So small amounts of training that Luke had. So
playing with that's the thing that bothered me about the talk is that you would say gear themed for girls.
Right.
That's not what we want. We don't want pink Jedis.
Right.
We don't want to call these boys and these girls. They're all toys. I mean,
they should be for everybody. I had Hot Wheels growing up, and I had all the original. I wish I still had all the original Star Wars toys from when they came out that my mom bought at like a secondhand store for like $10 one day. Like with the Millennium Falcon that had the figures in it. She bought one packed with everything in it for like $10. Mm-hmm. And I played with that for years, and that's a boy's toy, and it's just stupid because, there should be no gender with toys. Toys are toys. It shouldn't matter. So let's hope that Disney gets their act together.
Rant.
After the internet did explode and there was a lot of angry stuff going on. So maybe they'll get with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some Lego put it back together though.
Lego did put it back together, or at least Lego. So go out and buy Legos and don't buy Disney.
Buy Legos and we're all happy. Just don't step on it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, those are our headlines for this week. Let us know whether or not that you like the video podcast. Let us know any headlines you'd like us to discuss. And next, we're going to talk about show and tell.
Yes, let's talk about our favorite geeky desk ornament. All right. As always, I'm breaking the rules, Rhonda.
Oh, man.
Because I have 2. Because they go together. And I'm Yeah, I'm using your display method this time. So can you see this?
Oh, oh, you serious? Oh, that's fantastic. Now, is it a game or what?
No, it's just it was actually had candy in it. It was a candy container that I bought for Christmas. Or that
Oh,
was
how
actually I
cool.
didn't buy it, it was in my stocking at Christmas. So it's a little Space Invaders arcade stand.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love it. I've never seen anything like
Yeah.
it.
And I have to go with it, I also have Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah. See, that counts. Yes, definitely that counts.
Yeah. So the Pac-Man one is cool because we're at the Space Invaders, it's just like a flat screen here.
Uh-huh.
But the Pac-Man one is actually like an angled screen, just like it
Like it
actually
does.
looked in the arcades back in the day. So
Now, weren't you a Ms. Pac-Man person though?
I was a Ms. Pac-Man
Okay.
person, but of course they didn't have a little candy thing of Ms. Pac-Man. They only had Pac-Man. But
Those are great.
yeah, I love them. I mean, and
Are
they're
they
really
tin or
they're
plastic?
metal. Yeah, they're metal. Yeah, they're metal, little metal containers, and they had like actually this one still has his candy in it. Guess I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
eat
that
it.
wouldn't last long with me.
Well, if it was chocolate, it probably wouldn't have
Yeah.
lasted long. But they're just like little kind of like sweet tarts. So
Yeah.
yeah, so those two,
Oh, that's fantastic.
my little desk arcade.
Pew pew pew.
Pew 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 pew. Yeah.
I wish I could make that arcade sound when you
Yeah, I
laugh.
know, right? So, what did you have for your geeky desk?
Well, mine's a little bulkier, mainly because it's permanently attached to my desk, kind of.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've got a monitor here, and I'm going to display my monitor-sized mobile.
That's really cool.
It's a little
Obviously, you don't have
glass mobile.
cats.
No, oh gosh, no.
Yeah,
And I think you see it better like
I
this,
can see it better
maybe.
that way. Yep.
And a friend of mine bought that for me. I'd never seen or heard anything like it off of Etsy. They're still for sale out there. She bought it for me years ago. Um, Leah's Glass Creations. She's in Portland.
Yay.
And they make them for like your rear view mirrors, and she makes larger ones to decorate in the house with. But
House,
that
yeah.
one she's got displayed with stuck on your monitor, and I just think that's a beautiful way to bring some art and put
Into
it in
kind
your
of a
office.
utilitarian space. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very sweet
Very nice.
idea.
Very
Loved it.
nice. Yeah. Very pretty. I went on her site too, and you should go look at her site. There's lots of cool stuff. I love. She had some really vibrant colors going on too.
Mhm.
Really cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Um, you guys can send us your pictures of your favorite desktop ornaments. I didn't even begin to touch the surface here. I mean, my desk is constantly packed. I actually have a box on the side
To
of
rotate
displays. I
through.
can't, yeah, just tons and tons of, I mean, dice. And I'll send you a picture one time of my desk,
Yes, you did. Yes, you
pointing out
did.
all the
Yeah.
stuff.
All the
Oh,
different things. Oh, I should point out too, I'm wearing D20 earrings.
I was wondering what those were. I couldn't tell that they were 3D.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
Oh, those are
actually dice.
fantastic.
They're actually dice. So they're actually dice that somebody, put a little post in so you could wear them as earrings. So they're
They're not too
D20s.
heavy.
No, they do kind of bobble, and I kind of have that like, why is my head raw, bobbling around going on? But they're pretty cool.
Tons of awesome, cool, geeky
Yes,
toys.
so much geeky stuff in the world. It's fantastic.
Well, we are.
This is what the listeners don't hear,
Yeah, normally audio people don't hear
but
this.
our viewers get to watch.
Yeah, and they may as well know that this is almost always the point at which Rhonda screws up, and our wonderful editor makes Rhonda look good. You've been listening to Game On Girl. You can find all our social media connections on our website, gameongirl.com. I'm your co-host, Rhonda Oglesby. You can follow me on Twitter at Row Room. That's RHORHOOM. And I'm also pretty prolific on Tumblr. I put a lot of our ideas out there,
Yeah.
links to articles and
A
stuff.
lot of stuff we're working on. So you should definitely follow Rhonda on Tumblr. I'm your host, Regina McMenemy, Twitter on DocLiz with 2 Z's. Thanks for watching our video podcast here. Rhonda, what do you have coming up in terms of events?
Well, by the time this video's out, I will be in Raleigh at Maker Faire, my very first Maker Faire. But after that, in mid-June, I'm going to be in Nashville at Utopia Con, which is a woman-targeted sci-fi fantasy writers conference for young adult, new adult fiction.
Yeah.
So it's all about for female writers, about female writers. I've never been before, so I'll be reporting back.
Cool. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you have to say and how that turns out for you.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll should be fun. Yeah, so send us your geeky desk ornaments, pictures, welcome. If we get enough, we'll create a gallery on the website.
Yep.
And let us know if there's any headlines that come across that you'd like to hear Rhonda and I talk about. We're always open to your ideas. Game On Girl is available on iTunes and Stitcher streaming. You can also follow us on Front Burner. These links, along with references made in the show, can be found on our website, gameongirl.com. This podcast is edited by Ryan Broom at Desert Tree Media, and the theme song Good Day by Triple Fox is used under Creative Commons Attribution License. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, drink on. Oh, wait, game on.